Welcome to Podcast Zone 2, guys. Okay, Marco, what if I told you that every time you speak English, you are literally, you're doing double the work for zero reason?
Wait, double? I can barely do the normal amount of work.
Exactly, because you're translating in your head.
Okay, but duh. Like, how else am I supposed to do it?
You have to think in English.
Oh, sure. Just think in a language I don't fully know yet. Great advice, Erica. Podcast over, guys.
No, seriously. It sounds impossible, but it's not.
It sounds like telling a fish to just breathe air.
No, it's more like, okay, imagine you're a waiter.
A grumpy one?
Yes, a very grumpy waiter in a busy restaurant.
Okay, I like this. I'm a grumpy waiter.
And someone orders a pizza. But instead of just going to the kitchen and saying pizza, you write the order down in Spanish.
Right.
Then you run to the manager, translate it into English, and then give it to the chef.
That sounds awful and slow.
Exactly. The pizza is cold by the time it gets out. That is exactly what your brain is doing when you translate word for word.
Oh, wow. So the pizza is the conversation.
Yes, by the time you finally translate your thought from your native language into English, the conversation has already moved on.
Geez, that's literally my life. I'm always 5 seconds behind.
Everyone is. It's the biggest problem for English learners.
So wait, the lag, the buffering face people make?
The buffering face, yes. Looking up at the ceiling like the words are written there.
I do that. I look at the sky like God is going to drop the vocabulary word into my mouth.
Spoiler alert, he won't.
So wait, I don't get it. How do you skip the manager? How do you just think in English?
Okay, so it starts with stopping the habit of translation.
But it's automatic. Like, if I see a dog, my brain says perro. It just does.
Because you trained it to do that.
I did?
Yeah. When you first learned English, you probably used a textbook, right?
Yeah, school. You know, the classic, the cat is on the table stuff.
And how did you learn the word dog?
I wrote down dog equals perro.
Bingo. You literally programmed your brain to build a bridge between the two words.
Oh, wait. So instead of connecting the English word to the animal...
You connected it to your native word.
Oh my God, I'm an idiot.
You're not an idiot, Marco. That's how schools teach it.
But that means every time I want to say dog, I have to fetch the Spanish word first.
Exactly. You're taking the long road every single time.
That sounds so exhausting. No wonder I get tired when I speak English for like 10 minutes.
It is exhausting. Your brain is doing gymnastics.
So I need to burn the bridge.
Yes. Burn the translation bridge. You need to connect the English word directly to the image or the concept.
Like feeling it.
Well, seeing it. If I say apple, don't think of the word manzana. Think of a red, crunchy thing.
Okay, but what about abstract words like freedom or responsibility?
That takes a bit more time, but the process is the same.
I mean, I can't just picture a red, crunchy freedom.
No, but you can picture a feeling or a situation.
Right. Like paying bills for responsibility.
Exactly. See, you're already doing it.
Okay, I see the problem now. I'm the grumpy waiter running to the manager.
You're wasting energy, and worse, it makes you sound unnatural.
Because languages don't translate perfectly, right? Like word for word?
Never. If you translate word for word, you end up saying really weird things.
Oh yeah, like saying I have 20 years instead of I am 20 years old.
Perfect example. In Spanish, you have years. In English, you are your age.
So translating actually makes me make more mistakes.
Exactly, Marco. It literally, it sets you up to fail.
Because you're playing by the rules of a totally different game.
Yes! It's like trying to play basketball on a soccer field. The rules they don't match.
Okay, so I get it. Translating is bad. The waiter needs to be fired.
Fire the grumpy waiter.
But Erica, how do I stop? It's automatic.
Right, because your native language is a superhighway. It's so fast.
Yeah, my brain just zooms down it.
And English is like this little dirt path you're trying to clear with a machete.
Oh man, that is so true. A very muddy dirt path.
So you have to force yourself off the highway. You have to build direct connections.
Direct connections. Like, wait, what does that actually mean?
Okay, imagine you're a baby.
Okay.
When a baby learns the word water, they don't have another language to translate it from, right?
Well, no, they just point and cry.
Right. But they associate the sound water with the wet, cold liquid.
Oh, not with another word.
Exactly. They attach the word directly to the experience.
So, wait, if I'm holding a cup of coffee, I shouldn't think the word in my language and then coffee. I should just feel the heat?
Yes, feel the heat, smell it, and just say coffee in your head.
But my brain shouts my native language first. It's too fast.
I know. That's the habit. It's like, you know when you bite your nails?
Yeah, gross, but yeah.
You do it without thinking. To stop, you have to catch yourself right before you bite.
Oh, so I need to catch myself before I translate?
Exactly. Catch the native word, pause, and force the English word directly to the image.
Let's try it. Give me a mental exercise. Put me on the spot.
Ooh, okay. Challenge time. Close your eyes. Okay, eyes closed. If I fall asleep, it's your fault. Don't fall asleep. Okay, picture walking outside on a really freezing day.
Okay. Brr.
You forgot your jacket. The wind hits you. What is the English word for that feeling? Quick.
Cold. Freezing.
Did you think of your native language first?
Wait, no, I just felt the shivering and shouted cold.
Boom! You just thought in English.
Whoa, that was actually really easy.
Because the emotion was strong. Emotions bypass the translation waiter.
The waiter was too slow. The feeling just jumped right over him.
Yes, the waiter slipped on the ice.
Okay, but Erica, what about abstract things?
What do you mean? Like ideas?
Yeah, like cold is easy. It's a physical feeling. But what about a word like although or development?
Oh, that is a great question. The muddy dirt path gets complicated there.
Right? I can't touch development. I can't smell although.
True. For abstract words, you don't link them to an object. You link them to a situation.
A situation? Wait, I don't get it. Give me an example.
Okay, let's take give up, a phrasal verb.
Oh, phrasal verbs, the absolute enemy.
I know, everyone hates them. But instead of translating give up,
I picture a situation.
picture yourself playing a video game for 5 hours. You keep dying on the boss.
Oh, I'm throwing the controller.
Yes, that feeling of throwing the controller and saying, I'm done, that is give up.
Oh, wow. So the situation is the definition.
Exactly. Hey, if you guys listening are having an aha moment right now, make sure to subscribe to Podcast Zone 2.
Yeah, hit subscribe because my mind is literally blown right now. But wait, Erica, what if I just don't know the English word at all?
This is where people freeze, Marco. You just totally stop.
Totally, you hit a brick wall.
Right, but you don't need the exact word.
Wait, what? How do you speak without the word?
You just need to describe the shape of the word, like the idea of it.
The shape? Like, what, is it round?
No. I mean, okay, imagine you're in a kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you need the thing that opens a bottle of wine.
Oh, a corkscrew.
Exactly. But let's say you forget the English word corkscrew. What do you usually do?
I panic. I literally pull out my phone and open a translator app.
Right, which completely breaks your brain out of English mode.
Oh, wow, because then I have to think in my native language to type it in.
Yes, you reset the whole system. Instead, just describe it.
Like the metal thing for the wine?
Exactly, the twisty metal thing. The other person will immediately go, oh, you mean a corkscrew?
Geez, that is so simple, actually.
It's literally just like playing Taboo.
Oh man, I love Taboo. The board game, right?
Yeah, the whole point of the game is explaining a word without saying the actual word.
Wait, so when I'm speaking English, I should literally just play Taboo in my head.
Basically, yes. It forces you to keep thinking in English.
That is actually brilliant, Erica, because... Wait, let me try.
Go for it.
So if I forget the word for wallet, I don't translate it.
Right.
I just say, my money house.
Money house. I mean, yes, people would totally get it.
A little weird, but they'd get it.
They'd probably laugh, hand you your wallet, and you didn't have to stop thinking in English.
It's like a broken bridge. If the bridge is broken, you don't drive all the way back home.
You just find a way around it. Yes, Marco, that's a perfect analogy.
Wow, okay. I'm feeling pretty smart today.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Hey. But okay, seriously, doing this takes practice, right?
Oh, tons of practice. It's a mental muscle.
So how do I, flex that muscle?
Okay, here's a quick practice step. Everyone listening, you can do this right now too.
Oh, sweet. We love a challenge.
Look around the room you're in and just name 5 things you see, but without using their real names.
Okay, I'm doing it. That soft thing you sleep on.
A bed.
Yeah, and the bright glass circle on the ceiling.
The light.
See? That's actually really fun. I like this.
It's a game. And if you do this while you're, waiting for the bus.
You're training your brain to stay in English mode.
Exactly. You stop relying on that slow translation dictionary in your head.
The grumpy waiter, like from earlier.
Yes, you fire the grumpy waiter. You do the job yourself.
I love that. We are officially firing the grumpy waiter.
Exactly. So wait, what do you think happens when you start doing this taboo game every single day?
You get faster, like way faster.
Way faster. Because you start building, we call them language islands.
Language islands? That sounds like a tropical vacation.
I wish. No, it's about topics you talk about all the time.
Oh, like my job or my hobbies?
Right. If you talk about playing soccer all the time,
You naturally just stop translating those specific words because you use them so much.
exactly. You literally skip the translation step because the island is already built. Wait, so if I talk about like pizza, always pizza with you, Marco.
Hey, it's important. If I talk about making pizza, I don't translate dough or cheese anymore.
Because you've lived on that specific island so long.
Oh, okay, wow. That makes so much sense.
And the trick is, to build more islands, slowly.
So I shouldn't try to learn political vocabulary if I never talk about politics?
God, no. Why would you do that?
People do it, like reading the news with a dictionary.
It's exhausting. Build an island for your morning routine first.
Oh, like making coffee?
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, while you're making coffee,
Mm-hmm.
talk to yourself in English.
Out loud or like in my head?
Either. I call this, it's the shower conversation technique.
Wait, the shower conversation? I already do that, but I'm usually like winning fake arguments.
We all do, but do it in English.
Oh, geez, winning an argument in English, that's advanced level right there.
No. Start simple. Just narrate what you're doing.
Like, I am washing my hair?
Exactly. I am washing my hair. The water is hot.
That feels a bit silly, Erica. Not gonna lie.
It feels ridiculous, but it forces your brain to stay in English mode.
Without the grumpy waiter interfering.
Yes, the callback. See, you're firing him even in the shower.
Firing the waiter in the shower. Got it. Wait, what if I don't know the word for shampoo?
Play taboo.
Oh, the soap for my head hair.
Yes, Marco, literally yes. The soap for my head is perfect.
Honestly, that sounds kind of fun, like a puzzle.
It is. And the best part, no one is judging you. You're alone.
True. If I say head soap, my dog isn't gonna correct my grammar.
Exactly. So that's the practice for you guys listening.
Narrate the shower?
Or your commute. Just pick 5 minutes a day to just think in English.
So if I'm driving to work, I just look at cars and name their colors?
Yeah, or complain about traffic. That red car is so slow.
This guy is driving like a slow turtle.
Boom. You didn't know the word slug, maybe, so you used slow turtle.
I actually didn't know the word slug right then. Wow,
See? It happens naturally.
that is crazy. Okay, so we've got the taboo game.
Yep.
We're building language islands based on stuff we actually like.
Focus on your own life first.
Right. And we're narrating our lives for 5 minutes a day.
To train that internal monologue.
Erica, this is literally game-changing for me.
It takes practice, but I promise the translating will stop.
So here's the challenge for the listeners right now.
Oh, let's hear it.
Look around the room you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe what you see without translating? Just try it for 1 minute after this episode ends.
I love that. And if you get stuck on a word,
Play taboo. Explain around it.
perfect. Well, if you guys want more tips on rewiring your brain for languages, make sure you subscribe to Podcast Zone 2.
Smash that follow button on Podcast Zone 2. Guys, we'll catch you in the next zone.